Hi, Epilepsy Warrior. I wanted to come in, sorry about that, and talk about epilepsy independence at this time. I actually had a conversation with a new friend, and I was thinking about this, um, especially during this COVID time. It's kind of interesting because a lot of people are being forced um, to kind of live right now in a way that I live or that you live, which is really relevant. It kind of makes it relevant to me. Um, so it's just kind of interesting. But on my last video, I made a video about my SEEG recovery, and I had discussed coming home and divorcing my husband after my surgery and then consequently moving out. So I moved out post, what was I, August, September, October, yeah, I was, excuse me, I was 2 months post surgery, and I had had the concussion for 1 month. I wasn't in super great shape, but I was, trust me, if I can do it in that shape, like condition rather, um, you can do it. Um, but I moved out, and what I had done first is I wanted to make sure that I selected a location that was going to make the most sense for me. And what I mean by that is I needed to make sure that I could get to everything very easily. And those things were going to be Publix, Target, Walmart, Sprouts, wherever it is that you go. You need to be able to get there easily. And for me, I wanted to walk to those places. Like, I didn't want to spend gobs of money on Uber. I only have a certain amount of money on disposable income. And, the less money you spend on being able to obtain the kinds of things that you need, the more money you can spend on rent, which is kind of cool. So, yeah, so I plot myself down in a place where I could literally walk to Publix, Target, Walmart, um, GNC. I can ride my bike to the gym, to Whole Foods. I can get to Walgreens, CVS, Michael's, and I am an artist. I'm not like, but I paint and I draw on the side. It's like a hobby of mine. So it's definitely great for me to be near Michael's. So yeah, I can get to all of those things like one way for free. So that was a huge thing for me. So when you're selecting a location, definitely make sure you're keeping in mind, being able to get to those types of things real easily. Let's see, what was next? I'm just looking at my notes. Yeah, location, and then, okay, food. Now, obviously, yeah, okay, so you can get to the grocery store and you can get to Target, but okay, I can't like ride my bike home with cat litter. That's crazy. And if you can, like, please shoot me an email and let me know, because A, you're awesome, and B, like, how do you do that? So what I always do is I will walk to Publix and I grab all my groceries for a couple weeks, and then I'll just Uber home. with, because water and 50 gallons of ice cream is really heavy. So it doesn't make sense to do that. And then I get all my stuff like at Target, like I make sure I grab enough stuff for usually like a couple months. So I only go to Target like once every few months, which is pretty cool because then I'm not like blowing money on Uber constantly. Um, so that saves me money. Um, Planning is a big deal when you live on your own and you're kind of relying on yourself. Like, obviously, me, I don't drive. So I need to plan ahead. I need to know what I'm going to be eating. Um, so before I get to the grocery store, I can't just like walk through the store and be like, that looks good. No. I'm in the grocery store. I am like a man with a plan. I'm like, get out of my way, COVID mask people. Like, I need this now. Like, no. Like, I know what I need. It's on my list. Don't get distracted. It's just, this is what I'm doing. It's just, I have to cook. And if I'm not cooking, then I have to Uber in my stuff because I'm not jumping in a car and going anywhere. And if I want to try to walk somewhere to get food, it's going to take me 25 minutes, and that's crazy. So I'm not doing that. I'm definitely buying all my food. So it's just like, it's a planning thing. That's kind of what's going on when you're living by yourself. It's not like you can't do it. You just need to have like, you just need to take your time and make sure that you're planning what you're doing and you're really organized. That's really the most of it. Um, what else do I have here? Okay, so one thing that I did when I moved in is I make sure I had a good bike. And by good bike, I don't mean like I went to a local bike store and I spent $600 on some crazy BMX bike. No. I went to Dick's and got like their baseline, like Nishiki, or that might not even be the word, but it's whatever their $300 bike was. I don't know. It's been great. That's what I got. I'm just going to Target. I'm not going like up a mountain. So that's all I needed. But yeah, so I got a good bike, and obviously you need to make sure you got yourself some good shoes, because if you're not driving anywhere, you're going to be walking a lot. Um, I know, like, my back is a little funny sometimes. So, like, when it comes to good shoes, my shoes are pretty legit. Um, Podiatrists recommend, and this isn't like sponsored. I knew this from just going to podiatrists. They tend to recommend New Balance shoes, Asics. Brooks are good shoes, but I don't know if those are recommended by podiatrists, but they're also really legit sneakers. Those are at, I think those are at Dick's too. So I'm trying to keep this to a shorter video because I know I tend to like talk forever, so I'm trying not to get crazy. So on your phone, make sure you have like a good phone. I do not have a good phone, so I'm trying to help you out from my mistakes. Just because you're going to need, a couple extra apps. You're obviously going to want your Uber app, you're going to want your Lyft app, and you tend to get like coupons and stuff for both of those. They kind of compete with each other, so it's kind of cool to have both of them. Your Uber Eats app, you're going to want that. And then Instacart is another cool thing to have. It's, you can use that for ordering groceries through Publix. I don't recommend using that a lot because it actually is really expensive. I use that more than I should. It's just, well, it's the whole, COVID slash being lazy thing lately. And if it rains, I actually will use that because obviously I don't want to like walk in the rain. Um, but that's a good app for like emergency type of grocery ordering. And then Walmart and Target, you can get annual memberships through, and they will deliver your groceries. And let's see here. What else did I want to tell you guys? Oh, also the Bumble app. This is a different um, subject. So I found out the Bumble app, and you probably already know this, just because I'm like all new into the whole apps and online situation. That app actually has like a friends section, and you can like find friends with that app. And me moving to like a different area and not being able to drive and having like no friends, um, that was kind of like a cool little thing to stumble upon because you can use it to like hunt down people that live in your area to try to connect with people. Maybe they can like get you a ride and you guys can hang out and go to yoga together or climb walls or do whatever it is that you want to do. Go out, go to church. And just so you're not like alone in your new place, like just being alone. It's one thing to be independent and do your thing and like get control of your stuff and be all like amazing and like have control of like your disability and your stuff, but then you kind of let go and lose like your social circle because like you know it's easy to I think it was easy for me to do that. So I guess I warn against it a little bit. So I wanted to let you guys know that that Bumble app can be used for finding friends as well, just in case you weren't aware of that. And to warn against being a shut-in. Obviously you can use Amazon and Target and Publix and everything to come be delivered to your home, especially if financially you have the means. Like, you don't have to lift a finger other than your index finger to like deliver everything to your home. It's probably not as hard as we think it is physically to live like on our own with epilepsy, just because everything is so caterable now. Everything is it's so electronic. It comes to you, which is really incredible now. You got to pay for it, but in doing that, you can, like I said, you can kind of turn into a shut-in, and doing that kind of disallows you to experience the world and develop your strength of independence. So like you don't necessarily get out in the world and like, you know what I mean? Like it's one thing to like have your groceries delivered and another thing to walk down the aisle in the supermarket and stand there and be like, I could have a seizure at any moment. I'm by myself. Nobody is here. Like, my boyfriend is not with me anymore. We're not together. My mom is not around the corner. I don't live with her anymore. Like, your security blanket is not there. You are your new security blanket. So, like, and that's okay. Like, that's what this independence is about. And it should be like, if you're living on your own, it should be to a point where it's safe enough for you to be able to do that. And if it's not, you may want to rethink that. And I would never try to support you being in a situation where it wasn't safe. But if it is, then definitely get your butt out into the world, and don't, just a little bit at a time, don't be afraid to like live. Okay? Alright, alright. I'm gonna shut up now and not make a 20-minute video. You guys take care and be safe right now. I know it's a little weird out there. Bye.